Hello and welcome to the Rant Shop. This is the How I See It podcast. It's been quite some time since I've done a podcast. This one I'm going to talk a little bit about the presidential election. You know, it was kind of a rocky road, but we're here and he's president and really ain't too much you can do about it. So whiners need to shut the F up. Because everybody that's whining will whine, oh, he did this, he did this, he did this. That means you believe 100% of what you see on TV and or on snippets on the internet, which then in fact would mean that you should believe 100% on the internet about Hillary. So then Pizzagate should be real. Obama should be wanting hot dogs. She should want to be tacos, molesting children. All so that's all got to be real, right? Even though we know the Clinton Foundation is real and that she's been taking money from Arabic nations and Muslim nations and all that other stuff. That shit is true. A lot of this shit about him isn't true because they just took snippets and took it out of context. He didn't spend all his time trying to make her look bad. She spent millions and millions and millions more dollars on TV ads trying to make him look bad. He beat her ass, didn't spend as much money, and here we are, right? So I don't get it. You know, I'm with them 100%. We should start building that wall, and we should start it before we get the money from Mexico. Mexico will pay one way or the other, whether it be taxes or something. They will pay. The wall will be paid for. It could be over time. Let's get to work. Let's build that wall. Let's secure our borders. Let's get rid of illegal immigrants that are causing problems. We'll worry about the other people later. They can stay here for all I care, and I'm sure for all he cares. Because if he creates as many jobs as he says he's gonna, we're gonna need these people to work. And once we get it all going, everybody in Mexico that comes here legally is now gonna get paid more money. There's gonna be more job options. You're not gonna go have to take a job because you're illegal, making 1/50th minimum wage or whatever they pay you. You're gonna be able to live the American dream too. Once we take care of America. You know, if we create jobs, once there's more jobs and there's people looking for jobs, it automatically makes every job in the United States worth more. Your employer will have to pay you more because there'll be more competition for you to go get another job. So they're going to want to keep good people. You're going to get paid more. They're going to make more. It's a snowball effect. Right now, it's the snowball effect of losing jobs, losing overtime, losing benefits. Jesus, the economy just sucks. Let's make America great again. I'm with it. I'll give the man a shot. You know, nobody's giving the man a shot. Oh, they can't do it. Well, either did anybody else. So, the end of 4 years, don't vote him back in. But you know, at least work with the man. Give him some decency. I don't know why. You know, because your ass is burnt that you lost, especially you stupid fucks in Hollywood. I don't get it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. So, are all your, what do they call those? Lies you tell to yourself that you're going to do in the New Year's come true? You're living up to everything you planned on? I think all my New Year's resolution lasted just a few hours, you know. Yeah, maybe I won't drink this year. Nah, I don't like that guy. He's pretty fucking boring. A couple hours with sober me, you. No time for that. It'd be like being at work. I'm sober enough. That's, 10 hours a day. What do you want from me? Just joking. Yeah, I was going to lose weight. Lost a lot of weight, then holidays come. I gained everything back in like 2 weeks. Took me 3 months to lose 20 pounds, and I think I gained it back in 2 weeks. Now the cravings are back for all that bread and fucking sugar. It's doing really good, too. If I quit drinking beer. Sponsored by Miller Lite. I quit drinking beer, maybe I could lose 20. Or maybe this is the weight I'm supposed to be. I don't know. I had a pretty good Christmas. See, I smashed my foot. It's funny. Smashed the fuck out of it. The thing got a big old knot. Toes turned purple side of my foot. Coming, I told you, I smashed my foot pretty good. She's like, oh, really? I'm like, whatever. And I had the next day off, and I took my sock off that night. And the oldie's like, man, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, that's just a fucking bruise, you know. Could barely walk on it, but I had Death Grip. Some of the members from Death Grip band I was in about 15 years ago the guitar player moved to Seattle, and he's here around Christmas or sometime like August. I think last year he was here in August, but this year he was here for Christmas. And like the Friday before Christmas, he's like, "Hey, I got Friday. I can come out and we can jam." And so we got together. My foot's all fucked up, and I'm like, no, hon, I can't go to the doctor. I got a jam. It's just a fucking bruise. She goes, "Well, you're going at the end of this," and I'm like, "All right, but I'm gonna be shit faced." So they come over and we jam for. Actually, I had the Ranch Shop drummer, AK drummer, come over because Todd couldn't make it, and so he sat in and we jammed for 4 or 5 hours drinking and bullshitting, and then they left, and then me and Rob sat around and drank some more. And I don't know, it's probably 10, 11 at night, and I'm fucking 3 sheets to the wind. When I get that way, my foot don't hurt at all. And not that it stopped me from walking. I still cramming it in my shoe. I'm just like, it's a fucking bruise. It's just gonna hurt. It'll go away in a couple months. So we get to the hospital, and the lady's like, "You still drink about 6 a day?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's why it doesn't hurt him." And I'm like, "Whatever, lady." This is the receptionist lady. She's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "I just got a bruise on my foot." And she looked at it. She goes, "Ooh." So they take me in, and I'm sitting there waiting on a doctor. And this doctor comes in, and I told her I smashed it down. It's like, this is your toes. Did it right here on the side. Smashed the fuck out of it with the motor. And big old fucking bruise, and like the middle of my toenails, like I said, was blue in the side of my foot. But it really didn't hurt. I mean, it hurt like a motherfucker when I did it. And so at the doctor, now this is Friday, so Christmas Eve is Saturday. So I go in there, and this lady's like, I told her how I did it, and she took x-ray. She goes, "It's not broken, but you got some kind of fracture." And what she meant by is that she's telling my wife that I took like the tendons and shit and ripped them off, and they're like fiber optics, and it's like all disattached and this and that. And I'm telling the lady, I'm like, "You asked me what the pain is, 1 to 10. I'm telling you it's a 2, and you're telling me end of the world inside my fucking foot." So she gives me this note. She goes, "Yeah, this is for work. You're not to work. I want you on crutches. You're not supposed to be on your foot. You need to go see an orthopedic surgeon. Here's some drugs." And I'm like, "I don't need them because I told you it doesn't hurt." She goes, "Well, this is so if it hurts during the weekend, you can." I never filled the fucking prescription. They know I drink alcohol, and they're going to give me a narcotic and try to fucking kill me. Duh, I'm drunk when I'm there, and they're fucking prescribing me fucking pills that 90% of the fucking United States is hooked on. Oxy fucking Cottons. Come on. I said I didn't fucking need them. She still gave it to me. I think my wife probably kept them up in her cupboard, her little smorgasbord. I don't take fucking pills because I ain't stupid. Drink beer. Pills, beer don't mix. Pills just make me where I can't fucking poop anyway. So basically, according to her, I'm not supposed to be on my foot. She gave me one of those little shoe boots. Well, by this time, it's getting kind of hard to get my foot in there. It was swelling up, whatever, so I kept the little boot on. But I didn't use crutches. I stayed on my fucking foot, and I'm going. I went through the holidays. Everybody's trying to tell me to put my foot up, and I'm like telling them, it's fucking fine. It's just a bruise. It's a swollen foot. I smashed it. I mean, you smash your fucking thumb, swells up. What? Do you sit and go like this? I can't do nothing. It's a fucking bruise. So a few more days go by. It's looking worse because I'm on it. It's going to swell. I'm on it. I get it. When I got home, I put it up, But so I finally get the appointment like 11 days later for the dude for the orthopedic surgeon, right? Worked the whole next week. Stayed on it. Worked it. I just told him I had a bruise. I didn't get my piece of paper, tell him, end of the world. I won't be able to tell you when I can come to work in 11 days. So I go fucking walking into the orthopedic. I was like, I think I left work an hour early. My appointment was like 2:45. I got in at 6, so I still got over 8 hours. Whatever. I had a week notice on the calendar. Plus I got vacation. But I worked all day then. I went there. And I go walking in, and the guy takes me. He's like, I'm like, "No, dude, it don't fucking hurt." And he asked me what happened. I told him. And he starts pushing on, it was like a big old hump. Well, and it had rubbed off at the top, just from swelling and being my shit. And he's like pushing on, and he's like, "Oh, does this hurt?" I'm like, "It's irritating. Depends on what you consider hurting. Is it going to kill me if you keep squeezing it?" No. So he's squeezing. He's like, "Well, I think it's just a hematoma." which is a big cluster, of things. I said, well, yeah, I know, it's a bruise. He's like, pretty much. I said, all I'm really here for is because my wife and my mom think, because I got to fly out, I had to fly out like that Sunday to California, which was last Sunday. And they're telling me I'm going to have a blood clot. He goes, well, I would take an aspirin. He goes, but I would tell you that even if you didn't hurt your foot when you fly because, thins your blood and you can get blood clots, but you don't need to smash your foot to get one. I'm like, that's all I need to know. He goes, your foot's golden. He goes, just keep pushing on that. He goes, that's just normal bruisings from the blood from when you smashed it. He goes, that's just a big hematome in there. He goes, it's just broken blood vessels. He goes, you keep pushing on it. Eventually it'll go away. You should be all good. I'm like, thanks a lot. Then he goes, you need a note for your work? I said, a fucking note. I said, I told you I've been to work. He's like, okay. I said, but can you get me one for my wife? Because my wife's and my mom, like, here goes the doctor. And I'm telling him it's a bruise. And this lady at the ER's got everybody thinking I'm fucking dying. And I want to be crutched and have surgery and up for 6 months trying to pump me with fucking drugs. Told him it was a fucking bruise. I didn't want to go in the first place. So, yeah, I don't get it. The one lady wants to send me for all this shit, and the other guy's like, yeah, you're right, it's just a bruise. I guess it only matters. If I'd have went in there, like my 2 is probably normally somebody's 4 or 5. Like my wife, any little thing, she's 13, right? She can't handle pain. I abuse my body. Something always fucking hurts. And I hear it's going to get worse. I was always told by y'all, do it. Wait till you get older. Dude, I'm feeling it young, so I can't wait till I get older. So, yeah. My threshold is pretty high on that aspect, but, so, if I would have went in there hobbling and all that, he would wanted to probably, oh yeah, you might have done some damage, we might want to go look at it, and we need to scope it out. You could probably take either one of my foot. I shattered both heels jumping off the fucking stage at Harpo's. They could probably go in and do something and find something in my foot wrong or any joint and say, oh, and do $50,000 surgery. There's nothing wrong where I need surgery, but if you did a scope, you'd find something and they'd fix it, and then you'd be off work for like 4 months and you'd pump $80,000 that your insurance is for, and that's another reason why it's high. If you need it, get it. I get it. But fucking bruise on your foot, I could have turned it into a surgery. I guarantee I could. But I went in there basically telling the doctor, it's fine, I'm just worried about fucking flying. And he was like, yeah, you can, it just looks like, But if I don't want, oh, it aches inside, well, we don't show anything x-ray, so what we're going to do is a scope, That's just what they do. I get it. It's, But at least he wasn't trying to force something on me. But if I would, like I said, if I'd have went in crying, we would have been in surgery. And I'd probably still be off work right now. So I got that all good. So bonus, now I get to go fly to California. But that's a whole nother podcast. Check out my website, rantshop.com. I've got a Facebook, rantshop@therant.com or at facebook.com. You can email me, rantshop@yahoo.com if you want to bitch at me. I'm going to try to get back on and doing these at least a couple times a week. I had to stop what I was doing. I was doing some construction in here in the basement, moving shit around, so it kind of threw me off a little. So I have a couple different podcast areas instead of having to do it all at once. So when I want to do grease, going to go over there. Got band room all set up, made a big room for the kids. I extended their little living room area and made it pretty badass. So, but now I got free time again. This is what I do when I get bored. All right, check at you later. Yeah, now let's talk about the UFC. Long-awaited return of Ronda Rousey. Oh, yeah. Didn't do any media. That was just a payday for her. She had a lot riding on it, though, because after Holly Holmes kicked her in the neck, she pretty much, I think she lost a lot of her deals. She was still worth a lot of money. She might have had something left. I don't know why she fought again. I don't think she really thought she was going to win, or maybe she did. Maybe in her head, she thought she was the greatest. She was doing, I don't know, jiu-jitsu, whatever the arm bar's from. She was pretty good at, but you got to remember, Ronda Rousey started in a brand new division. Granted, she come from somewhere else and was kicking everybody's butt back then, but this is fairly new for women, okay? So she goes and pretty much beats up 5 unknown women who had won other fights from unknown fighters, and she landed on top. And then she fought somebody that was a kickboxer. They've been doing that her whole life, kickboxing. She wasn't real good at this, that, or the other thing, but she out kickboxed Ronda Rousey. And she takes off for a year, and this little beast called Amanda Nunes has been for a long time studying all the arts. Has a hard fucking punch. Comes in and wipes up the floor with her and makes her look like she's an amateur. Well, compared to her, she is. She would have to take a couple years off and do nothing but train and learn a bunch of stuff to even begin to compete. She had to get inside. The only thing she's got is that hip toss and a arm bar. You know? That's like saying Conor McGregor gets taken down. Well, he seems to whip ass now, you know? He learned, but he wasn't a one-trick pony. So, yeah, I think she was overrated. I always thought she was overrated, and now, you know, the Women's League has got some badasses. Just like that Johnson dude. He's kicking everybody's ass. It's been established now for a while. He's been the only champion, and he's a true champion. He was a badass when he started. He is a badass. But whenever you start a new thing, new weight division, a new class, you're pretty much starting from nothing until everybody's fought. You really don't know who the best is. You might have a champion, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. It's just the best of the group that had fought. Not the best. How can you say it's the best in the world when you haven't fought everybody in the world yet? They tend to settle down. I think that belt's now settled. It'll be hard-pressed to find somebody to whip Amanda Nunes' ass. But it's also funny that there's always that one person that can always beat that high person, but then everybody else can beat him. It's kind of weird. They even say, like, Amanda Nunes trained her whole life for Ronda. So she lived, breathed, and ate Ronda Rousey. So once she got to fight Ronda Rousey, she knew everything about her. I still don't think too many women can kick her ass, but Amanda did get beat. I think it was by the cat chick, I think, beat her. That was years ago. I'm not saying she could do it now, but, you know. But it can happen. So that's how I see it on the whole UFC. Ronda Rousey, I think she's pretty much done. I think she screwed herself out of some movie deals because she ain't on top no more, and then she just got mopped up. So I don't think that's opening more doors. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Time will tell.